Hi, I'm the owner of the United States. Let's talk about this great reset nonsense which is being tossed all over the internet to give you fear. There is probably some sort of reset being planned. If you accept the fear that they give you, what you're doing is keeping yourself in a subservient position to your elected servants and to the enemy banksters who control the United States and tell the elected servants what to do. You are the owner of the country. Your job as the owner of the country is to supervise your elected and appointed servants in our government. There can be a reset, and if it's managed by the owners of the United States, then that reset can work to our advantage. Of course, the first thing you do in a reset is throw the criminals out of your country who are restricting your freedom. That means the Rothschild banksters and their Federal Reserve and their TV networks and their bribe-lying politicians. That's what you can do as the owner of the United States. You don't have to sit there and take their abuse. You don't have to talk about the things that TV tells you to talk about. You can think for yourself, and you can understand that when you fire every Democrat, every Republican, and every appointed bureaucrat in our government, especially the attorneys, then we, the owners, can do whatever we want to advance our freedom. We don't have to pay any taxes. We don't have to pay any bills to things like electric companies and oil companies and cable TV and any other bills, because we gave Congress the power to coin our money, which means nobody has to pay that money back, especially if they're going to create fiat money the way the Federal Reserve does. We pay interest to our enemies who own the Federal Reserve. But if Congress creates the money, then there is no interest to pay and there is no principal to pay. That's the way things used to work in the United States before the Federal Reserve took over our country in 1913. It's a simple economics. Everything to do with economics is a hoax. The word shouldn't even exist. It's a trap that was foisted upon us by banksters in 1913 and later. As the owner of the country, you can think for yourself and do anything you want to repair the damage that has been done to our country by all of our corrupt politicians. All politicians are corrupt. All Democrats, all Republicans, all Libertarians, all Independents. Every politician in the United States is corrupt and is acting as your enemy. They don't obey you, but they have to obey you because you have the power to fire them. That's why you have to unite in an organization like the United States Owners Association. I'm going to put a link here. I started a Facebook group for the United States Owners Association. Right now there's a dozen people in it. Perhaps it'll grow. Perhaps if it does grow, Facebook will delete it. So we need to have that organization with its own website somewhere else where we're not subject to any rules by Facebook. And we could unite there with each other, form ourselves into the most powerful organization that ever existed on earth, the owners of the United States, and do whatever we want so that we can live free. Would you rather live free and do whatever you want and enjoy your life? Or would you rather live as a slave to our corrupt politicians and the criminals who own the Federal Reserve and the TV networks and the Bar Association. That's the choice that you have to make for yourselves. TV doesn't tell you that you can make that choice. Well, as the owner of the United States, I'm telling you that because I stand above TV. You stand above TV too. You stand above the politicians just like I do. But you haven't accepted that yet. Read the Declaration of Independence and learn it. You are the owner of the country. Governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers by the consent of the governed. We're the governed. We hire people to manage our affairs for us. We have to consent for them to make rules for us. But you know what? We all kept quiet. And to the lawyers who sneaked into our government to make our laws to take our freedom away, silence is consent. So we don't say anything about all the things they do in secret. They have their consent. And to them, with no ethics or morals in the legal profession, they could keep doing whatever they want. So we have to shut that down. We have to remove every attorney from our government, like the Constitution told us to do. So let's get to work on that. Talk about firing the government. Talk about taking your freedom back so you can do anything you want. So we can cause the Great Reset ourselves by abolishing the Federal Reserve and making money free. We don't have to pay their outrageous interest just because we say so. We're the owners, we're the bosses, we're Americans. We can do anything we want. Join the United States Owners Association. Make yourself more powerful. When there are millions of us, we can give orders to the cops to arrest every politician in the country, and it will be done. You'll have your freedom back. We can have honest and intelligent people running our country again. That's the way you have to think. That's what you have to talk about. Stop talking about the things that the liars on the internet want you to talk about and that TV wants you to talk about. Think for yourself. Take your freedom back. Thanks for watching.